Hello, everybody. Hope that you're having a wonderful. So, it is very dark in here, isn't it? Let's see if we can adjust this a little bit. I wanted to talk about a specific topic and pull up some cards for the energy of March 6th. So let's see how we can work this out. If you're hopping on, even if you're watching on the replay, let me know. So my topic is kind of interesting today. So these are the cards that I'm using. And I also, okay, those are the cards that I feel like I need. I'm also working with rose quartz as well. And you can go to robinshealing.com as well if you are interested in booking a reading or healing with me. Okay, so I guess I'm just going to do it like this for now. I also have this other stone that I felt really called to, and it kind of reminds me of, I don't know, chocolate chips or something delicious. You're hungry when you want to eat your stones. All right. So I guess we'll just channel and see what comes through here with the messages. But today's March 6th, and if we just read the energy, the number 6, it's really talking about balance, cooperation, and coming together with people, people who are like-minded. So if you would like to join my full moon ritual underneath the full moon, the next full moon in Virgo, that's the 18th at 11 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time. So please make sure that you sign up for that ahead of time. All right. So 6 can also represent like if you've been through a lot, you might be finding that as the good things that are coming through being through a lot is that you were able to kind of resolve some issues. So the invitation as well today is to focus on your gratitude, your wins, all of the things that you are succeeding in. Because if you can um, get your mind in that right place, it feels like it's going to be a really beautiful day for you. And then the other thing to keep in mind is your spirituality today. It feels like doing some meditations, doing some healings. It's a really good day for that as well. So, kind of what I'm doing, just tuning in to where you're at, what you need to do, and what you're being called to energy wise. Okay. So, as we're talking about the topic, coward, being a coward, cowards fear. So, yesterday, underneath my Facebook page, I discussed fear versus trauma and fear versus love. And I feel like those were important topics. And now it feels like coward energy is coming up as well. So, I can't help but feel like there are a lot of people who, when they get scared, they run away, right? And then the other thing I put to this topic as well is standing up for yourself. So um, there's a combination of things coming up. So we'll see what our cards tell us. So, Five of Pentacles, first of all, is in tarot, talks about, well, I mean, forgiveness has really been coming up for everyone. But this is talking actually about money, spirituality, and the energy of money exchanges and things like that. So if for instance you are like scared to tell people your financial situation because maybe it'll scare people away. So you're dating and you don't want to tell somebody that you're in debt, we'll say, because it might be scary, it might scare them away. However, if you forgive yourself, we'll say, for being in debt for where you are, then when you go into that new situation with somebody, you might be more likely to be, as you're okay with yourself and you stand up for yourself, and you're like, well, I'm okay with myself, I'm okay with this, so it's okay for me to share aspects of my life that maybe I wasn't proud of in the past. And then the other thing that comes up with being a coward is like not moving forward. It might be like, just using this example, might be like, oh, I have shame and I have guilt around being in debt. I didn't make good choices. I have a shopping addiction, something like that. Maybe you're addicted to really expensive clothing, something like that. Maybe it's purses or shoes, and you just can't stop buying those things, and you've racked up your credit card as a result of it. So if you feel badly about that, that you did that, and you just keep feeding into that, and you don't forgive yourself, you're like, you shouldn't be doing this, and then you go and shop because you feel badly for yourself. We do this with food as well. We do this with tons of different things, ways to cope. But what's coming up the coward side would be not dealing with it, and then also being scared with how other people are going to treat you. And as a result of that, they're probably not going to treat you the way that you deserve to be treated. So, the reason why I'm saying stand up for yourself is because you need to be okay with you, and when you're okay with you, everything else is gonna fall into place. So, again, if there's some form of, like, issue around your especially with your financial situation, or maybe you don't like talking about money, maybe that's scary for you, this is saying that there's some form of disconnect spiritually to money as well and abundance. So you might be feeling badly for yourself that you don't have enough money, things like that. So the coward side is okay, I need to open myself up a bit more to my actual situation and start looking at things from that positive side. And as you start to see yourself in that positive light, it's going to get a lot easier. Okay, so let me know if that relates to anybody. Something tells me it does. So, again, maybe some form of disconnection to money in a spiritual way. Typically in tarot, the way it looks is it's a person standing outside of a church, and they have their head down, and instead of going into the church to make it better, they decide that they want to be the, I'm going to say, a coward, and hang on to that fear and stay that way instead of taking that step and walking into the church and maybe praying and maybe connecting with other people, maybe opening up and maybe being honest. And people admire other people that are honest. I do feel that way. So something to look deeper into, because money is a big topic that I'm currently working on. Because right now I don't have. If you go onto my website, you won't see any prices because I'm just tuning into the energy and that frequency with finances. So it's kind of cool, and I like it that way, because then I'm not limiting anyone from being able to get healing, and I'm also don't have to limit myself as a result of other people's situations, which is great. So I'm also learning to, make sure that your cup is full, that sort of thing. It is really important to do that. Make sure that you can always take care of your own things, and then when you go to give to other people, you're not resentful, that sort of thing. And that could be a big learning lesson for a lot of people if they're giving what they don't have, or also they have a lot and they're taking from others. So that can happen too. We can actually hoard our money and material things out of fear. That's where the some of the coward aspect can come up as well, because you might even have an insecurity that way, that people are going to steal from you, or um, like people that don't have money are less than, or people that are rich um, are also like stuck up snobs and stuff. So I'm getting to identify with your beliefs around money. And if you haven't joined my email list, I put all my links below, and you get a theta healing video when you sign up for the email. And there's some theta healing around this stuff, which is great. So I like giving away those gifts for people taking the time to support me, or like these, or subscribe, and etc. So, Three of Swords, heartache, and I'd love to hear um, how you guys feel about the word coward. What comes up for you? Because a coward could be, well, okay, we'll say like somebody's cheating on somebody. All right. So, say somebody's cheating on somebody, but they're too scared to tell them that they've cheated, and instead they're going to let that guilty conscience like continue and continue and continue, and then they're going to pretend like they don't have a guilty conscience, so then they're going to kind of tell themselves everything's fine, when meanwhile all they would have to do is stand up for themselves and say, look, like, I'm not happy in my relationship with you, and it's time that I, like, let you know this, so that either A, you can work on it and change it, so you can be a healthier version of you, or um like, you can wait to get caught, right? That's another word for a coward, I would say, is someone who's just, "I'm just gonna wait till they bust me, because I'm too scared to actually talk to the person that I'm in a relationship with." And this happens really often, and so it's really important that we're being okay with the truth. And so when I give people readings or healings, often it's not like the best sometimes when you have to be what I consider honest with people, because you're not feeding somebody with a bunch of things that they want to hear. They're coming to you because they're open and they want to build up their confidence. They want to build up their strength. They want to grow as an individual. They want to have healthier relationships. They want to have healthier relationships with money. And they're willing to deal with some of the heavier things that maybe some people don't want to look at, right? Or maybe they haven't wanted to look at it for a while, but then they're stepping into that light. So that's where forgiveness comes up as well, because if you're not forgiving yourself for times where maybe we'll say you were a coward, or you just had a lot of intense fear and you didn't have the tools at the time, or you didn't know how to stand up for yourself, maybe you were bullied, things like that. These are all part of really beautiful lessons. I call them blessings. So it's really focusing on also the good things that are coming from some of these situations as you do prosper and change as well and release things. So the full moon might be helpful for you to work with me on that stuff if you like a group setting. Otherwise, you can just book your independent consult with me as well. So, Three of Swords heartache is basically someone who is someone who is like struggling because they're able to look at situations without rose colored glasses on. And the reason why they're struggling is because being able to see the truth, the pure truth about maybe even what's going on in the world, maybe your thought process right now of like the worldly issues that are going on are maybe too much for you. So you put your blinders on, or like, I'm never going to get sick, or whatever it is. Or it could be the opposite. It's everybody's going to get sick, right? And so if you really wanted to, really wanted to, and I do this in theta healing, is would you like the truth, or like creators or the universe's definition of what it really is to be humble, we'll say, right? Because we might associate with people who are humble as people who have lots of money, people who volunteer, people who give to charities, people who don't need attention. They're not on social media at all, maybe. Maybe they are very soft spoken, we'll just say. And these are just beliefs that we have around what being humble really means. So, again, the coward part is like, and the word, this word's really coming up for people because it seems harsh, but it's like when it's like, when somebody's just like, you're just like, deal with your own crap. So we'll just say somebody's not paying child support, but they have a child. That's just a great example. And it's like we might call that person a coward because they're not stepping up and dealing with what somebody might consider the right thing to do. We don't want to shame people or judge people. However, um, there's probably an underlying reason why that person is doing that, and that's the most important thing that's coming up here is, do you wanna know why they're doing that? Or do you wanna continue to just also, like, live in your own beliefs and not actually take the time to find out why? Why are they doing this, right? So sometimes this is about, courage as well, in taking the courage to actually initiate something maybe new in your life. And you might be scared to do that because you don't actually want to go through some of the growing pains, or again, there could be blocks around like the faith for you as well. So these are just some things to start considering. Okay. I'd love to hear what people are thinking of. I'm just gonna have a little sip of water here since nobody's talking and I'm on a live. Well, right away, I'm feeling a little like there's a lot of stuff going on in the chest as well. So, again, your heart chakra, this might affect your heart chakra, even just talking about this, because you might find like you go into survival mode as well. And survival mode sometimes is just when we feel like we don't have the ability to deal with things at the time, so we'll put it aside. But we know that putting things aside builds up over time and it creates issues. So as we're just talking about like not paying the child support or somebody else not paying child support, something like that. Well, who in the end, the child is the one. It's about the child, right? So that's why sometimes we have to think about other people and how our actions are going to affect other people. I feel like that's coming at because selfishness comes up here as well in terms of like, are we always thinking about someone else? Or are we always thinking about ourselves? Because when we can get outside of ourselves, that's going to uplift everyone else. So if you're internalizing too much, if you're overthinking, if you're exhausted, then it's time to start standing up for yourself and be like, I need freaking help. So start calling people and say, I need help. I need help. If it's a healing session, if it's like, I need somebody to take care of my kid because I need to get out of this house today. Right? I need to borrow money from someone because I need to get myself out of this situation. I need to tell my partner that I'm not happy with them. I think I'm going to ask that person out on a date because I'm okay with me. And if they reject me, then that's okay because I'm okay with me, right? We don't need to change everybody else either, but we also need to focus on changing ourselves and growing spiritually, emotionally as well for balance. So, I just come on and listen to what I'm supposed to say. Angel of Reflection. I really like this card. So, the Hermit card talks about soul searching and the importance of understanding our life path, our soul path. And in order to truly find our soul path, we have to do some work. And that might look like taking a look at ourselves in the most honest way, right? And that might be through like quiet meditation. Might be really scary for somebody because sometimes when we have trauma from the past as well, old trauma might pop up when we go to do our meditation. We might start to get answers that we don't like. And it might be just identifying with when I go into meditation, I get anxious. When I go into meditation, I see the vision of this person trying to kill me, we'll just say. So I kind of just don't do that, right? So it's something to really start, I feel like, digging deeper into if you are struggling and something's not working. Is it not working because it's not meant to be? Or is it not working because you don't want it to work? Right? And this comes up in a lot of people's relationships. So it might be if you're struggling with any type of decision making right now, that just take a little bit of time and even just do a little writing exercise of the pros and the cons of this decision and start doing that a little bit more. And I think that you'll find it'll start to be easier to stand up to your ego as well. And what that means is when there is negative thoughts, that you stand up to those negative thoughts and you say, "Nope, I'm not. I'm not listening to you. I'm done with you. I'm cutting the cord with my ego. I appreciate that you're there. I get that you're there to help me feel safe and protected, but we're not going to numb out anymore and we're not going to continue those vicious cycles, right?" So I hope you guys have a beautiful day. I hope you found this helpful. I actually had a call from a friend last night and she said, "Oh, I have a friend who watches your videos." She actually thought I was my sister, which is funny. Um, my family does look we all look a lot alike. And we're all girls, so that's good. But I was like, "Oh, that's interesting," because she doesn't really, she enjoys my videos, but she doesn't like or comment or share or anything like that. So I really like to know, um, like if you do enjoy these let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to continue to listen to my intuition. I'm going to continue to be myself and continue to build up that courage to speak up about things that I feel and trust that it is helping. However, it is really nice. I'm very grateful for people who take the time and just to say that they enjoyed it. Um, and I'll continue to do content. However, if you feel like some of this resonates with you and you're like, "Yep, she's talking to me," that might be a sign that you wanna join the full moon ritual that I'm doing if you're able to. And also book in even just the consult with me, which is free, so that we can talk about maybe, like, how to just schedule in a little session and, or maybe a couple. All right. Have a beautiful day, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Bye bye. Enjoy your Sunday.